A man walks into a poll location in Washington, D.C. and asks about United States Attorney General Eric Holder.
Holder? That's the name?
And you were a Democrat, and you wanted to
I did.
Northwest, that's the address?
Okay.
Last name?
Please sign the name there.
I actually forgot my ID.
You don't need it, it's all right.
I left it in the car.
As long as you're in here, you're on our list, and that's who you say you are. Okay.
I would feel more comfortable if I just had my ID. Is it all right if I go get it in the car? I'll be back faster than you can say furious.
We're not going anywhere.
Poll watcher certificate so I can go inside.
I'm just wondering why you come up taking pictures.
I mean, what?
I'm just wondering why everybody's taking pictures, that's all.
Okay. I mean, I think it might be a little bit intimidating that you have a stick in your hand. That's why, you know?
Yes. Who are you to decide?
I'm an attorney. I mean, that's a weapon, so that's why I'm a little worried.
Who are you to decide?
I mean, I am a concerned citizen, and I'm just worried that you might be...
So are we.
Okay.
That's why we're here.
Okay, but you have a nightstick in your hand.
So what?
I mean,
You got a camera phone.
I have a camera phone, which is not a weapon.
Listen.
Under our current system, many voters must follow cumbersome and needlessly complex voter registration rules.
No, I got the right one, right, Rob? Robert?
Cassandra.
Right, because I have another William.
Right.
So, okay.
It's Robert.
And you
All
got
right.
a Democratic ballot. There you go, Mr.
Now, I'll tell you what, I've left my ID in the car, my
don't need
my
it.
identification.
It's not required.
I don't need it.
Have you ever voted in this ward?
No.
Okay, did you vote in Nashua before?
No.
No, what you would do is you go to over to the register over there and they can register you today.
I don't have any identification.
You don't have to have identification.
You don't have to have a license or anything? No? Well,
They would like to have it because they can follow it, but we do not.
As we move through, and I know you're seeing a trend and a theme for this program, right? We've got states' rights issues, constitutional issues, budgetary issues. Then we get to the entitlement issues and the changes that need to be made, and there's only one way. It's only one way we can make changes in this country, which is a country of laws, and that's through the election process. So in order to do that, in order to make effective changes in the election process, we have to have confidence in our elections. We have to believe that people who are entitled to vote are the only ones who are voting. I've done a few radio shows that indicate just how easy it is to register to vote in the state of Florida with fake names, fake IDs, using absentee ballot mail-ins and voting by absentee and making it work. As long as you're willing to sign that piece of paper that says, I swear under penalty of perjury, I'm an elector, that's all you got to do. That's it. No background, no checks, and evidently no voter ID. And I've spoken with state's attorneys around the state and said, well, we've got all this potential voter fraud, and the answer is it's a $500 fine and we don't have time to chase it down. So people think about that and they say, wow, what is it going to be? 10, 15, 20 people. I don't know if you saw the news on Thursday that came out. The Florida Division of Elections has sent to all of the local supervisors of elections, and you're going to hear more about that in a few minutes, a list of, you ready? 180,000 suspected voters who need to be double-checked. Something's not right with their registration in the state of Florida. Now think back to Bush Gore. You think 180,000 voter swing can take this state? This is a huge, huge challenge for us, and fortunately, there are a great group of folks, professionals and volunteers, who are working to check on these voting rights issues, and it is led by a stranger to no one here, our good friend, Jason Hoyt. Jason is on a self-charged journey to work with patriots from around the country to bring back our founding principles. And with this as his mission, he's doing all he can do in order to continue the national conversation about the U.S. Constitution and the proper role of government. He's currently the Florida State Coordinator for the True the Vote program. True the Vote program. He works with Big Voices Media out of Jacksonville, and he's on the board of the first ever National Conservative Film Festival. You can hear Jason every Saturday morning, and you could have done it this morning on 1190 a.m. or 1060 a.m. as a host of American Patriots Radio. Jason's going to talk to you a little bit about voting fraud and challenges and bring up his own special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Hoyt.
Actually, I saw on CNN the other day, there was a segment in the morning. They said that there is no voter fraud in America. So we're all set. Actually, before we continue, I want to take a quick second. Look around. This is May. This is Mother's Day weekend. It's a beautiful day outside, and you guys are here. You guys are the diehards. And I think, yeah, absolutely. When Benjamin Franklin said, "It's a republic, ma'am. If you can keep it, it rests on our shoulders here." I want to take a quick second to thank the River Run Church people. This is a beautiful facility, and Reed and his team. We need to thank them for putting this together, because what we're doing is, this is a great lineup and a lot of great content. When this comes out, when Alan puts these videos together, and I'll talk to the Big Voices Media folks to get a channel in there, we'll get this content up here. It's going to be up to us to share it virally and start educating our family, friends, neighbors, and coworkers with this information, so it rests all on our shoulders right here. And I'm going to read a couple of segments here from a report that just came out, an organization called Accuracy in Media. Accuracy in Media put this report out. It's like 19 pages, 4 pages of reference material, so you can check the facts on all that I'm about to share with you. But it's called The Left's National Vote Fraud Strategy Exposed. You want to know what they are capable of, what they have done, and what they are planning to do this time around? It's in that report. It will fire you up, and I'm not going to read all 19 pages, but it's going to fire you up about what their strategy is, what they're capable of. They're losing. Look at the common sense that's involved in this national conversation. They're losing that debate. So what are they willing to do on Election Day? That's what I'm worried about, and that's what I hope everybody here is worried about as well. This report reveals the left's vote fraud strategy for the 2012 elections. I like how they put this next part. Like a KGB operation, it is thorough, multifaceted, and redundant. It has covert and overt, illegal and legal elements, the latter of which are designed, at least in part, to facilitate illegal activities later. This is a very hard-hitting report. It is a deliberate, premeditated, comprehensive plan to win the 2012 presidential election at all costs. And there are 4 prongs. One of them is swamp election officials, and it goes into details on how. Remember the Cloward and Piven? You guys hear about that? It's to overwhelm the system. That's what they want to do, is overwhelm the system. Activists, in the second prong of the approach, activists sue state authorities for voter suppression, creating further chaos and pressuring them to become de facto taxpayer-funded voter registration operations. Third prong, Eric Holder's Justice Department tacitly supports voter intimidation tactics, sues states and backs private lawsuits, and resists reform as voter suppression. And the fourth, the leftist echo chamber in the media discredits allegations of vote fraud, not just the media, but their surrogates and some of these politicians, supports suppression theme, and promotes advantageous legislation. I get pretty fired up about this because this is our elections. If we, Catherine Engelbrecht, she's a leader of the King Street Patriots and helped start True the Vote. She talks about free and fair elections. And honestly, this is nonpartisan. The old ideas of the R versus D mentality, it's over. We got to be doing what's right. And if you're not for free and fair elections, what are you for? So again, how many people here, thank you, how many people here are aware of ACORN, they're aware of the 55 convictions? How many people here are concerned about voter fraud? How many of you are willing to do something about it between now and the election? Write this down. This is the funnel right here of the best way to get involved, truethevote.org. There's not a lot of information on the website. You have to sign up to start receiving information. They're doing that purposefully. And after you take the initiative yourself, and there's a couple of steps to take the initiative, even a non-disclosure agreement, you have to go through the research database training. then they'll give you the keys to the kingdom. But sign up at truethevote.org to really get involved. And they have a two-prong approach. There's two things that they look at: voter registration challenges, as well as poll watch training. It all started in Houston. And I'm going to go through that report that I talked about, Accuracy in Media, has information, has the history of True the Vote, how they started, why they started, and the numbers. I'm going to look at some of this here. I'm going to read through a portion of this. In July 2010, a newly formed voter registration group named Houston Votes, which they later found ties had to George Soros, announced it intended to register 100,000 new voters. Anybody done voter registration drives? To say you're going to do 100,000 new registrations is a pretty tough challenge, and that's what the King Street Patriots, they were skeptical. Catherine Engelbrecht's group checked about 1,000 Houston Vote registrations. The number of erroneous registrations submitted by Houston Votes, a group targeting unregistered Hispanics with Democracia, it's called, another group, was, she said, off the charts. They brought their results to the Harris County Supervisor of Elections, and really what the True the Vote program is, giving you tools so then you can then partner with your Supervisor of Elections. So you can say, I'm going to help out, guys. And we have a team of volunteers. We have this great tool online. You don't have to go to meetings and go to events, and you do it all from your computer at home. And you can check registrations, and you hand them what's called citizen challenges, or you're not claiming voter fraud from the get-go. You're just saying, you know what, these look a little bit off. You know, you can search in the database for, give me all the registrations where there are 6 or more people at the same address. And she talks about, and Catherine talks about in her presentations, where they had 28 people at a Chick-fil-A registered, or 20-some people at a homeless shelter with 4 beds, or whatever the numbers were. But you can look at these things and submit them to your Supervisor of Elections and encourage them to challenge it and clean the voter registration rolls. But when they brought that to the Houston, Texas, their Harris County registrar, Leo Vasquez, he found that of the 25,000 plus, 25,000 submitted by Houston Votes, only 7,000 were apparently new voters. Do the math. What are the rest? Problematic. They had issues with those. Evidence shows, and he did an unprecedented press conference. He said, evidence shows that the Houston Votes and Texans Together organization is conspiring in a pattern of falsification of government documents. It's unbelievable what the left has done in the past, and we have to prepare for. So again, truethevote.org, and you can help do this from your home. You go through their database training, and you submit, you check off the ones that you looked at that are questionable. You just want your Supervisor of Elections to do a review. And I'm going to bring Mike Ertel out here in just a moment, Supervisor of Elections from Seminole County. But around the state, what we're trying to do is get a little bit organized. They have a portal. True the Vote has a portal that's coming online at the end of the month. You're going to be able to see everybody else within your county group that is also participating. In Orange County, where is Barbara Seidenberg? Over here. And Bill Barnett is over there. These are the two folks that are they're rolling up their sleeves and taking a deep dive on this single issue, and they're going to be leading a team here in Orange County. Bill Barnett's going to be heading up the research database team. The next research database training is, Bill, the 16th. It's the 16th. Get on truethevote.org. How many people here know about Acorn? How many people here are concerned about voter fraud and are willing to do something about it? Truethevote.org. You get on that website. I want to read a couple more portions here. True the Vote and the Wisconsin recall. You know what happened up there in Wisconsin. They assembled around the country 14,000 volunteers to start checking the petitions that were submitted up in Wisconsin. The numbers on Accuracy in Media's report are phenomenal. You're going to fall out of your chair when you look at what the Wisconsin Supervisor of Elections and all them did not do with those results. It's going to frustrate you.